enough.
You can.
And the winner of the best suit is... Primark was closed. I needed a suit, you know? That's good.
Glenn, you know, congratulations. For me, a suit does empower a man.
Ah.
Talk us through what people were saying about your suit and who designed the suit and how did you know,
Get to it, yeah.
how did you get your sound editor, but you knew what looked good on Glenn. And it's important because the whole world is watching. And
Yeah.
in Oscar night, it is the one in fashion where everyone's going to watch the best dressed and the worst dressed. And that's both in menswear and the women's.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying this, great suit.
Well, the thing is, what I thought, we talked about having a suit. If, you know, there was a vibe on the films. So people say, oh, you could go on, you know, could get nominated or whatever. So I did mention to her, I said, if it happens, I want a suit. You know, we want a suit. I mean, because he made one before, anyway, the other year.
Yeah.
He made one when I went to meet the Queen, so that was pretty cool. So I knew he could make a good suit.
Entrusted me.
I entrusted you, yeah. And so yeah, and then I came in, and it was literally 3 weeks before, and I come out, so I want a suit. I want a suit now, and I want it in 3 weeks, or before 3 weeks, didn't I?
Well, originally you didn't want it. You was happy if it didn't come before the Oscars.
Yeah.
Before the BAFTAs,
Yeah.
sorry, because you was just going to wear it to the Oscars.
Yeah.
And someone decided to change their mind at the last minute.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I
Called
wanted
me 3 days
yeah.
before.
I wanted it for the BAFTAs, you know. I wanted to if I wear my
Yeah.
black suit, or I could have black one.
That was good
and
when
then
I was at
wanted-
home eating my dinner and someone called me.
Yeah,
to
and
tell
so
me
I
that.
said, oh, yeah. Anyway, so I came in, I said, look, yeah, you know, I want a suit, you know, that, and so what, and it was what we wanted, what I wanted. I wanted something different,
Yeah, the
didn't
brief was different.
Different.
But not.
And I'm not tall, so I didn't want it to, you know, there were the things about the length of the jacket. I wanted it to fit, I wanted the trousers to be modern with a taper, you know, so it looked, it was sort of like you, sort of a classic style with a modern twist, I think.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
idea.
We didn't want to take it too far there. It just looks like, A, another black suit.
No, I didn't want to
Or
do
B,
that.
you didn't want to be a velvet suit.
No.
You didn't want it to be too much of a statement. It had to be a statement in a
Or
stylish
pink.
way.
No, that's
No,
it.
not
No,
pink.
well,
No,
or
so-
white.
No,
No.
it had to be.
No,
had to still be
yeah.
classy.
So now we sort of came out, and I tried. No, you had a jacket, was it? Did you have a sort
I
of
had
jacket?
my own double-breasted.
Yeah. And so I said, well, don't go double-breasted. And I thought, because I hadn't really thought of the double-breasted side of it before I came in. I hadn't really thought of that, had I? You know, I thought,
No.
you know, I wanted a jacket, a short, you know, with the trousers without down, but whatever they're called.
Yeah. You wanted a shorter jacket.
Yeah, I wanted a shorter jacket. I wanted it to, you know, suit me. You know, how you're going to have, but slightly different. And I think you came at the idea with the blue, didn't you?
Yeah.
And these sort of dark navy, and I was going, dark navy? How dark? I remember kept saying to you, how dark is the dark, wasn't it? So, you know, and I think, how dark is dark? You know, because you're not sure. So, you know, I mean, it's going to be dark with the black, and then the things came on, so gradually grew them with the buttons different.
And
And
the frog pockets on the trousers, so it gave it that jean look on the actual trousers.
so the idea was, and the trousers, you know, it looked different, but it looked really smart. And I tell you, you know, and you know, measuring this, and yeah, luckily he's quite good. He's similar type, so I was able to try the jacket, one of the jackets on, and so I knew, you know, because we needed it so quickly, it like I was going away. So luckily he was. I try your but a little bit more there or there. You know what I mean? And we did all this with it, and yeah, the colour. I mean, the colour actually it came out beautiful. You know.
So you're there on the night, you're
Yeah.
coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Important how you looked.
Yeah,
It's Oscar night.
it makes you feel good. I mean, the transfer, when I went to the cameras, I got out of the car, up to the outside, the PR, Warner Brothers PR persons are there. And the first thing she said, oh, that is a sharp suit. You know? That straight away she said, and people were telling, oh, that's a cool, people were saying it, that's a cool suit. Because it was, you know, it was the only one, it was different, you know, but it was still very smart, and it's you know, it's nice to, you know, because it's not like, I mean, you know, you can buy a beautiful suit, can't you? And then they all look, you know, everyone looked amazing, they do, you know. But it's just because it was a little bit different colour, a bit different cut, double-breasted, not many of those. Yeah, and it felt good. It did feel good. So it went down well, you know.
It fit, didn't it? I think
It
that's the important
fitted. It
thing.
fitted well. Fitted me, you know. And then even the blue laces on my shoes. Okay, worked out. So yeah, no, that was good. I mean, even at that, before that, the BAFTA Awards. I remember John Ridley. You know, he actually won the Academy Award for screenplay for 12 Years a Slave, and he directed a film, a Jimi Hendrix movie, which me and my team had done. And he said to me that night, man, suit of the night. And that's what he said at the BAFTAs. So that's pretty cool, you know. So, you know, well done.
Yeah.
To everyone. And for getting it so quick, you know. And that was, I don't think we changed anything, did we?
No.
And I was worried about, is the trousers too short? I mean, I remember, you know, when you first try something on, it is the modern look. Then I looked at it, I remember standing in the mirror, is it right? Is it, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I pushed, you know, he got it early, and so it was lucky. Just it wasn't many days before, was it? Just,
No, I think it was about 3 days before.
Yeah, yeah, just.
I think you came back from LA and you came and you was there originally.
Yeah.
And then you came and picked it up.
Yeah.
And lucky enough, it fit straight off the bat.
Yeah.
There's no alterations.
No,
So I've
no.
done a suit from you before. I kind of knew what was needed.
No, and then, yeah. So and it's been out a couple of times now.
Can you talk us through the moment of, and you shared it before, but they're just about, you know, you're up there, your names are up there.
Oh, what, when you
Talk,
the
Oscar. Talk us through that emotion, and then I'm going to ask.
Well, it's a long day. You never go from that point or just that.
Yeah, whatever point.
Yeah, well, you get when you yeah. I said because it's the build up and nerves. You get to the Oscars, they pick you up. I mean, I got picked up. I'd done a radio interview for Radio 5 of the morning of the Oscars.
Right.
So that was like, how am I going to get there? And I remember Warner saying to me, well, you've got to get back because you've got to get your car picked up. I'm on 30, and I was in jeans and everything like that. So I went back, put my suit on, went down, you know, and then we shoot off. And we get there, I think it's about quarter to 3. And then, yeah, get out, you wait, and you meet all the PR people, and then they escort you down through there, doing all these interviews to all the, you know, all the different cable shows. Basically, always asking all the same questions, but in a different format.
Yeah.
You know, and you do it, and it's great. You know, I mean, and it takes quite a while because it's, you know, that, and then you get in there and you're waiting, and there's, you know, a drink and canapes and all this stuff, and then eventually it's quite a long time to doing all this, and you get in there, and the show is about 3 hours long, and so you're in there and you're sitting, you know, first of all you're sitting there, we're not that close. Hey, because last time I went there I was right down the front, but this time it's like, we're not that close, and there's a few of the other nominees there, and some will scatter around. Oh.
So psychologically you're thinking, oh...
Well, no, then you look around and then Steve, he was up the back, he says, yeah. And then, because first of all you think, because there's it's in the Dolby Theatre, and there's sort of like a bandstand area, and then you sit back and you're in, and we were just in there, which is actually brilliant because you've got a great view, so they were good seats. And the show's amazing, you know what I mean? I mean, absolutely amazing. Pharrell, the Happy Song, U2 played, you know, I mean, it was
a different Oscar.
Yeah,
it was really connected to the
and
people, and it needed it, I think.
Brilliant, really funny. And, yeah, so, you first of all, it starts off, and they have, Pharrell comes and he does the Happy Song. So also it's fun, everyone's dancing, everyone comes up and starts dancing to this, you know. So it's really no nerves then, and everyone's having a great time, you know, and then the awards start, one goes on, one goes off. And it's a funny thing, what happens, each time there's a commercial break, it goes dead. People get up and go up and go, they go out, you can go out, and then someone sits in your seat, you come back, and then they count you down. So it's not, when you're there, you literally go, the countdown, it goes, da-da-da, boom, it stops, and they're moving around everywhere. And then they go, right, you got 20 seconds to, like it's live TV. So 20 seconds, everyone sits back, everyone sits down, and they go, Ellen comes on, bang, you're right into it, and you realise, crikey, this is live, and amazing, so slick, you know. I mean, you got all these people, and people just getting up and going around, and it was very slick, you know. And so you're doing that, and I think so we're halfway, and then about, which is quite a while in, an hour and a half. So we'd seen, luckily, U2 had been on when I before enough, so they were brilliant as well. So it was like going to a proper rock concert, you know, like you're there, you know, and great seats and it's free, yeah. And so it's like, wow, what more can you have, you know? You're there, it's a great show and it's brilliant, you know. So, and then all of a sudden the guy comes out, he's got his notepad and this, that, and the other, and his walkie-talkies, and he says, right, after the next commercial break, we're going to move you. we're going to move you down to the front. Not only you, but all the nominees have got to be closer. So you think, oh my God, at that point you go, blimey. So yeah, next minute, so if this thing, you're now, so after this, so if you want to go out now, don't go. And then they lock the door and you think, oh crikey, I better be able to get back in because after this, I'm going to get, yeah, so then, so you go down, you go out, and then they move you around, so the commercial break, you're sitting down, so now I'm down by the front, well on the side, you know, and then, so everyone within the sound, you know, the mix and the sound designers, we're all sitting sort of roughly in the same sort of area. And then it's done. Then the first one, mine's not the first one that comes up, but the other sound mixing two come up, and they go, "Where it is?" And they went, "Oh, brilliant!" And then you think goes, and then while his statements in this, but he says he's up for lone survivor, lone survivor. He's up for, yeah. And he says, "Oh, I wonder," and then. Perhaps he won't give two to the same film, you know, like so. I thought, great, you know what I mean? So now you know the next category is your own sort of sitting there, and all of a sudden you do start to feel it, and the films come up, and they go, the names are there, and the names, and they show the clip of the film, and then that's your name, very cool, and then another film, someone else's name, and this, that, and the other. Then it goes down, and this gold envelope comes out, and they go, and the winner is, and they pause, and you. Bang! It's you. You know. You go. Oh my God! And then from that moment upwards, man, your heart does go. You know, and you have to get up. And you walk out with shaking your hands or kicking you, whatever. But you walk up there. And you sort of like it's a weird moment. You know. You sort of remember it, but don't remember it. If I'm honest, I can remember doing it, but not remember that bit unbelievably well. You know what I mean? I mean, I can do it, and they give you it, and then you. And like I said before, you know then that at the beginning of this, they tell you, once you've received your award, you go to the mic, you've got 40 seconds. And then the music starts again, and you have to get off. So, you know, you go, oh my, and then, anyway, I hadn't rehearsed a speech or anything like that. I knew names, I sort of knew in my head, roughly, but I hadn't written anything down. Like I said, I wasn't very good at school, so I didn't, you know, if I wrote it all down and tried to memorise it, I would probably get it all wrong, so I didn't want to do that. And, you know, I found before that if I say something, it's easy when it just comes from me, you know, not trying to rehearse anything too much. So I, you know, did what I did, and then I can remember sort of, you can see this guy with white gloves counting and this, that, but you sort of, you don't really notice everybody there at that point. When you first get in there, you crack all these people, and they tell you there's like nearly 700 million people watching and all this stuff, and you go, wow. But at that point, you don't actually think of it. You only really think the cameras are on you, really. You know what I mean? You know, I was completely unaware he saw a bloke waving sort of, but unaware of it at that time. So that you know, a little bit. No, my heart's pounding. I think that's the first thing I said. I think that my heart's pounding. My husband was in the film. It was, which was, you know, something came to me as I was walking to the stage. That was it, and you know, that was the first thing I said. And then I couldn't remember the whole thing it said. You know, I remember that you got it, you get it, and that you do see like some of that Father Dave Heyman. They're just, you know, the people that
pumping.
They're really really chuffed for you. So then you get up, walk on, and you went off the wrong way. There's two ways I went the wrong way. I had to come back and go the right way. And then I can remember coming off and saying to myself, that's over. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I did. You know, I actually said it, but no one would hear it. But you know what I mean? Because of there's a long build up to it. You know, and there's people telling you, you might win, you're going to win this. And although you play it down, you do it. You know, it's quite good when you have, and you go wow. And then champagne straight away. You give some champagne. You go, wow, they're gone. Then they give you another one. And then you do all that stuff. You know, photographs, interviews, and loads of stuff. And then it's it. That's it. Then you've got it. You know, and you calm down. But I had lost my phone for the whole time.
Oh, I know how you feel.
For the whole week. So I got no text. I couldn't send a text. I had nothing. It was the weirdest thing.
Best actors you've worked with, actors, actress.
Oh, well, they're all good.
They're all good.
Yeah, well, fun enough, I worked with an actor recently who directed a film called Dustin Hoffman, and he did a film called Tet. So when you work with someone that he's directing it, and he was great fun. You know, he was great fun, and I actually went to LA with him as well to finish the film off, and he picked me up from a hotel to me to work, so it's pretty cool.
Ah.
But he's just he's a nice guy, really down to earth. I mean, he's, you know, I remember telling me he's been through a long career and had unbelievable highs and unbelievable lows. You know what I mean? People think it's all straight down the middle, but it isn't. You know what I mean? They go through, you know, they can go through hell. But he came out the outside and he was a fun guy. He did like to go to dinner though. He had to go and eat every lunchtime, you know. I had to eat. He just, and then at 5 o'clock, he liked a gin and tonic in the theatre. So it's very civilised. It's like the old school. It's perfect. So he was a really nice guy.
Someone that you'd like to work with that you haven't so far? Because now you've won the Oscar and that. The world's your oyster, no?
Well, no, I'm getting the job here. I'm getting the Saturday job.
Lucky.
Yeah. No, I don't. I mean, I've been there a long time, so
Yeah.
that. You know, I mean, look, a lot of the films I've worked with, you know, obviously you don't get to meet a lot of the actors that, you know, because we come on after, so they're not sort of like, you know, not like that. But you know, I've been lucky. I worked with so many films that those great people have been in, you know. So you know, Leonardo DiCaprio been in a couple. He's been in The Beach.
And what's he like? I mean, he's
Well,
brilliant.
he actually is a really nice guy. He was a really nice guy. I was talking to him when we were over for the Oscars this time.
Right,
And
as we do.
well, it was a funny story there. It was the first time we went over there because we went to a pub. They flew us over a couple of times. One was for the nominees' luncheon. So you go to the nominees and they put a big luncheon and everything, and you have a big photo taken of the nominees for this year. So they flew us all over there, you know, first class, lovely hotel, stayed there. And we were talking, and it was a funny time there, you know, that picture. Well, I actually was talking to Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio at the time, and we were talking there, and Amy Adams came over, and I went, blimey, I said, and funny enough, before Al told me that, you know, that Ollie thinks Amy Adams is really hot, you know, really cool. So I said, she came over and I said, I don't know why I said it, but I'll never do this ever. And I said, look, my youngest son, he's 21, he's not a kid, he's in Italy skiing, not Mexico. He's in Italy skiing. And anyway, so he's, and I tell you, he thinks you're really hot, which you are. He said, but can you give his old man a photo of you? And I could send it to him to wind him up. And she was brilliant. She came up to me, you see the picture here.
Yeah.
She came up to me, she got that orange, I don't know if you've seen the shot, not the shot of me and her, but the shot she was in for that day. But she had this orange cat suit on, very fashionable, with a light
Wow.
and then she sort of like that, and then she draped herself over and had a proper thing, right? No kidding. She did the proper thing, puckered herself up, and took the photograph. They took the photograph. And she said, "Is it all right?" She had to check to make sure it's cool. She goes, "That should do it." You know, it's like, and I texted it to him, and I think he sent me back something that I said. He said, "Yeah, you should."
Dad, that's wrong.
No, you should know. Yeah, no, he did. He said something that you should know better at your age, and that was it. You know, so which is great, you know. And, perhaps I should.